Hello, welcome back to another edition of our Simpsons season review. If you haven't seen any of our other videos, please feel free and check them out. This episode, we'll be reviewing Season 2, Episode 10, Bart Gets Hit by a Car, which first aired on January the 10th, 1991.
Now, viewing figures for this episode, again, because it's another episode with Bart's name in the title.
Sixth time his name was in the title.
Yeah, and he's now had his name in the title of 3 of 4 episodes. 3 of the previous 4 episodes. The only exception being the last one, which was a Marge one. So basically 4 in a row that's had a Simpsons character.
Like we keep saying in previous videos, it's because of his popularity.
Yeah, because of that, the viewing figures for this are up from the last one. The 24.8 million for this one. So the popularity of Bart continues early on.
But The Simpsons was popular early on as well.
Yeah.
But The Simpsons was... I think The Simpsons was more popular in the earlier series than the later ones, basically.
This is it, because the majority of this season, they don't really drop. There's a couple where they drop out of viewing figures of 20 million, but the majority are all in the 20 millions of some description.
This is also the second episode to show its title, the first being The Telltale Head, and it's the first show to show its number, episode 23.
Obviously in the production block, not obviously with the series number. Debut characters as well for this episode. There's a couple. There's 3, isn't there?
There's Dr. Nick Riviera. You've got Lionel Hutz and the blue-haired lawyer. But you have bit parts. Well, they're already dead, but...
Yeah, you got Snowball, the first Snowball 1.
You see the devil as well. Okay, you see Great-Grandma Simpson, Aunt Hortense, and so which are in heaven when Bart, is up there.
Yeah, but again with that one, it's sort of, is that a canon bit of the episode? I know they're trying to say, no, he's like saying he's dead, but is he actually really dead, or is that him going off into his own little world before getting to the hospital and waking up, sort of thing?
Yeah, probably.
Because it does seem a bit strange. But although obviously the episode title has Bart's name in it, apart from the obvious of him getting hit by Mr. Burns' car, it's mainly a Homer and Marge-centric episode eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, more focus on Homer's desire to sue Mr. Burns.
At least he doesn't have anything in the episode, and now just Maggie again.
I think she's only at the hospital, that's about it. So
yeah.
With Maggie, it's basically... Bart is basically a secondary character in his own episode, so it's like a little mislead there. I mean, obviously not in what happens in the episode through the title, but still, it's like you expect Bart to have a bigger role than he actually does. He's probably only in a quarter of the episode.
Yeah.
It just turns into another Homer show, basically.
Homer wanting money.
Yeah. So basically, they just basically get into it straight away. Bart is skating through the town, but we're only like a minute into the episode, and he's hit by Mr. Burns. And again, this just shows the fact of, even though Smithers is his assistant, Smithers has got some conscience where Mr. Burns doesn't.
Mr. Burns never has conscience.
Yeah, Mr. Burns just wants to give him, what was it, a nickel?
Yeah.
Even though so it's like, he looks at it and needs an ambulance and all this. As I said previously, it leads into what looks like Bart dying, but again, I think we can possibly put that in like the canon fodder sort of bit of the episode, because it's like either that or it really is going a bit off kilter by like, oh yeah, he's dead, but oh no, he's met the devil and the devil's realised that he shouldn't be dead.
It's not the first one who's done that. There was a character, Homer's done it in a later episode where he presumably dies, but then he's going up to heaven as well.
Yeah, but then again, it's Homer. He either dies or flipping gets injured in every single episode. But yeah, and the reason for thinking that he's not actually dead is just the fact of once he wakes up, you find out that all he's got is a bump on the head and a broken toe. So it's like, well, if that was all it was, and how could he have died from that and then come back to life anyway?
He was hit by a car as well.
Yeah.
That's all he got.
Exactly.
Did go up in the air as well.
Yeah, so again, quite lucky there with his injuries. But this is where we get the introduction of Lionel Hutz, and this is where they basically sow the seeds of the character he's going to be. Basically, he was chasing Bart's ambulance.
Yeah.
Because he basically is there trying to convince the family to sue Mr. Burns, even though Homer at first is like, what, you want me to sue my boss? So at first he's a bit apprehensive.
I don't get why he'd be apprehensive. He did run over your son.
Exactly, it's just like, but at the same point, Marge is just like, oh, it's only a bump on the head. It's only a.
Oh, that's Marge for you, though.
So Homer
we'll get to Marge later.
Yeah, so Homer's sort of led in that direction by a sort of thing. But yeah, eventually you get to Homer at the power plant. He doesn't go to see Mr. Burns. Mr. Burns
calls him,
or Smithers does it on Burns' behalf, and basically
offers him a check of $100. Was it?
Yeah, I think it was $100. It was a small amount anyway, but yeah, $100 he got offered. But then Homer goes on about medical bill. He's not means go on about it, he just sort of mentions medical bill, so Mr. Burns jumps to the conclusion that he wants to extort him for money.
Yeah.
And at this point, because previously he's been given Lionel Hutz's card, which turns into a sponge when it's wet.
Yeah.
Through Homer's sweat, so he's like, oh yeah. He then decides, well, yeah, maybe I need to sue. So from not wanting to sue just because Mr. Burns has a go at him thinking he's going to extort him, he just decides, okay, I'll extort him.
Perhaps Mr. Burns didn't get the house.
Well, to be fair, he doesn't have a power plant, does he? The more at the house.
Yeah, true, yeah.
But yeah, so basically, him and Marge go and meet Lionel Hutz, and it's there that you find out, yeah, he's not exactly a good lawyer, trying to getting his secretary to lie for him by saying that he's got clients that are ringing him and all this, he's got clients that want him, basically making out that he's got clients that want his help and he's too busy to deal with them, sort of thing. And just the fact he's got all these certificates on the wall which are obviously fake, or well, they most likely are fake, because as we learn later on in the series, he's not exactly
he's not
fantastic.
No.
But yeah, then you basically lead to the fact that once he's going through the case, he wants 50% of anything that they actually win.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it could have been worse, but still, 50%. It's like that.
Yeah,
that's
I know.
A bit
yeah.
Extortionate. But yeah, he also offers him a necklace as well, $99 necklace as part of the agreement. So he's like, right.
I wouldn't accept that deal.
It's like, that's a weird thing to be. What should we call it? But Homer's like doesn't think that the numbers that the two of them will have for getting money off Mr. Burns will rake up, basically, or he thinks it'll be less than what he wants. And Lionel Hutz reckons you get $1 million out of him. Like $1 million, even for your son being run over, £1 million, is that a bit?
It's a bit much.
A bit too much. It's like, yeah, that just seems to be the case of, oh yeah, Mr. Burns is rich, so just basically he won't miss £1 million to him, will be a drop in the ocean sort of thing.
It would be a drop in the ocean,
even
but
though we
get
cry
that.
about giving it up.
Oh well, yeah.
But yeah, this is where we get Dr. Nick coming in.
Yeah, Dr. Nick, when you go in his office, you see signs. One of them was, yes, we use anaesthetic. Also, one of his diplomas reads, I went to medical school for 4 years and all I got was this lousy diploma.
So yeah, straight from the off, you know he's not a good doctor.
No.
And obviously, we already know by this point, Dr. Hibbert's already given Bart the once over. It's like, there's nothing seriously wrong with him, just the bump, just the
What I don't get is, how can there not be something seriously wrong with him?
Yeah.
I mean, he was hit by a car and he went high in the air and fell to the ground on concrete.
He must have had a 4-leaf clover or something like that, something lucky in his pocket that saved him. Or maybe his bones are just a lot stronger.
No idea.
But yeah, Dr. Nick from here just decides that Bart's got whiplash and he's got trauma as well. Even though he's just putting in an X-ray and it's like, there's nothing wrong with the X-ray, but he's trying to convince him that there is. Obviously, Homer being Homer, he's so convinced by this, even though Marge can tell that Dr. Nick is just one of the dodgiest doctors you've ever met, basically.
Yeah, we're talking about the X-ray. It shows him with a normal round-shaped skull, but in later episodes, it would show top has spiky like hair.
Yeah, basically the outline of his head.
Yeah, his
basically.
outline, yeah.
But yeah, again, that'll just come down to the fact of back in these earlier episodes, they did sort of the put a bit more effort into it as it went on. They just tried to put in these comedy elements to it that just didn't really rack up to anything. But yeah, from here we then get Mr. Burns finding out. His first reaction is he wants to fire Homer. And Smithers
Won't look good, would it?
Yeah, Smithers' question, it's like, well, yeah, it's like how do you think people are reacting? And Mr. Burns daydreams that everybody would treat him like a hero.
Yeah.
But then obviously Smithers is like, well, yeah, but you're going to fire the father of the boy that you run over. The press will have a field day, as he says. So yeah, from this, Mr. Burns like, okay, then I won't. But basically gets to the point, it's like, well, I'll just wait for the press to find the next flavour of the month, then I'll sack him. So it's like, he still wants to sack him, even though it doesn't really look good. And yeah, you've just got Lionel Hutz trying to coach Bart. Bart's like, he's obviously fine. He's like, yeah, I'm fine, all this. Lionel Hutz is trying to convince him to basically lie and say he's basically got all this trauma and the incident's left him scarred for life. Obviously, like, by this point, Marge is getting concerned. As she says, she don't mind him doing it in the living room, but she don't want them lying in the court of law, which is understandable.
Yeah, but technically, yeah, they're lying, but he should have more injuries, more serious injuries. And it's only fitting that they want more money out of Mr. Burns after running over his son, basically. I don't agree with Marge in this respect, not whatsoever.
I mean, really, maybe not trying to put more injuries onto it. Should it not be enough that he'd run him over?
That's what I mean. I don't agree with Marge whatsoever in this episode.
Yeah. But yeah, from here we get to the courtroom where Mr. Burns yet again puts his foot in his mouth, even though he doesn't think he has. When he's summarising, he's like, his lawyer says something to begin with. He's like, oh, I want to relay the fact that my client's an upstanding citizen, all this. And to this, Mr. Burns just goes, yeah, I'm rich and important. I should be able to run over as many kids as I want.
Exactly. Only Mr. Burns can say that. Also, when Bart is on the witness stand, the characters Akbar and Jeff from Matt Groening's comic Life in Hell can be seen in the courtroom audience.
But yeah, from here, like I say, just before Bart gets to stand, though, he comes in his wheelchair. The whole courtroom is like sympathetic with him, but for once, Mr. Burns is like the one who knows the truth. He just like sees through it completely.
Yeah.
And basically,
Well, he would do, wouldn't he? Because money's involved.
Yeah, but at the same point, it's still the case of, for once, Mr. Burns is right about something, even though he is trying to get out of paying money. But yeah, this is where we get two different sides of the story. And basically, although, Bart got hit by the car, he puts his own spin on it by the fact of, Mr. Burns deliberately run into me. He targeted me. When they're showing the fit, it's like, we know Mr. Burns is evil, but at the same point, driving at a child.
Yeah, but Mr. Burns makes Smithers evil in his dream. What he was.
Yeah, and then he does that, and then it's like, Mr. Burns like, the Simpson boy came at me. I tried to avoid him. Then it's like, they do the flip of like, so it's like, let's leave. He's not important. Let's leave him here.
The good reaction with Smithers is.
Yeah, and then it's like, no, well, we must wait here and tend to him until an ambulance arrives. Why do you have to take him? Why don't you take me? I'm old.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. And then he wonders why no one believes him.
Exactly.
It's like, yeah. But yeah. Then he puts in another offer when he invites Homer and Marge to the mansion or to his house. He offers them $500,000. Leaves them to think about it. Although this is his little plan. He goes behind a concealed wall.
Yeah.
Fake painting. At this point, Homer decides he's going to spit on the offer, misses and hits his chair. And basically this is where Marge puts her foot in her mouth without realising it and admits the entire thing's fake.
She realises it. I think she wanted to say it, but she didn't want it to say it in front of Mr. Burns. But she realised, she knew what she was saying, because she wanted to say it, but she didn't want to say it at that precise moment.
Yeah, but yeah, the fact of phony doctors and all this, so it's like, yeah, Mr. Burns at this point just rips the offer up, even though he's not wrote a check out, just put it on a piece of paper. But
Yeah.
you think by ripping up offers off the table, it's like, well, you didn't even write it down to begin with.
No.
What's the point in ripping it up? It's not like they can cash a piece of paper. And yeah, this leads to then Mr. Burns' lawyer asking Marge to take the stand. And basically, because Marge is an upstanding member of the community, she can't tell a lie on the stand. She has to admit under oath that it's all a charade. And basically, yeah, Mr. Burns, for once, actually wins something.
Yeah, thanks to Marge.
Yeah.
In my opinion, she was wrong. You may agree or you may disagree. It's just my honest opinion, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah. But yeah, just basically to finish off the episode, we get from that to, again, it turns into another version of Homer and Marge marriage crisis.
Yeah.
Homer is annoyed that Marge cost him money, and he decides he's going to go to Moe's. But Marge works out that he's upset, so eventually goes to the bar. Homer at this point admits to that he doesn't think he loves her anymore.
You always need a bit of Mo.
Yeah, Mo, and at this point, it seems that no one in the bar knows who Marge is. They're all like,
I know they should know who Marge is, to be honest.
I mean, she should have possibly met some. Well, at the same point, like we said in the last review, Mo was at Marge's protest.
Exactly.
So how does he not know Marge?
Yeah.
And I'm sure we can't have got through a full season and nearly halfway through the second season without Mo and Marge meeting.
I know, yeah.
But again, Simpsons for you conveniently make you forget things. I might be wrong with that one. It just seems a bit strange. 23 episodes into the entire run and they've not met each other yet.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But yeah, in typical fashion, because we have Homer and Marge having relationship problems, we must get to the quickest resolution ever. Within what, a 5-minute period, they've gone from marriage on the rocks to, oh no, I still love you.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically that's it. You end up with a little mini crisis that goes nowhere to end the episode.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's basically the episode as a whole.
Yeah. Let's talk about what other references have in the episode. There's a few more which we're going to be mentioning now.
Yeah, when Bart goes to hell in whether it was reality or his dream, whichever you want to believe, the devil says to him, "Please allow me to introduce myself," a reference to the Rolling Stones song Sympathy for the Devil.
Yeah.
When Bart wakes up from his out-of-body experience, he says, "I did go away, Mum. I was miles and miles and miles away, writhing in agony in the pits of hell, and you were there, and you, and you, and you," a reference to the Wizard of Oz when Dorothy awakens from her slumber.
Yeah.
So yeah, just a few little bits there.
Yeah, that's what you do, don't you? You sort of add references to
back then
to
there were
the
small
episodes.
little ones as opposed to what they do nowadays, where they just turn an entire episode into sort of a canon one.
Yeah.
And also the song Tangier Taxi by Herb Alpert and Tangier Brass is heard twice in the show's history in this episode, as Mr. Burns is recalling the time leading up to the accident. So basically that happy little song that's playing in the background.
Yeah.
And also in On a Clear Day, I Can't See My Sister. I believe that one was the one where Bart annoys Lisa so much that she takes out a restraining order on him.
It is, yeah. So, work about the positives and the negatives of the episode. Well, let's start with negatives because that's what we always start with.
Well, you've already mentioned one of the main
Marge.
negatives already. We'll start with Marge. Yeah,
Marge, I didn't agree with what everything in the episode. Nothing in the episode about Marge in this one, because her son did get hit by a car. They wanted to get more money out of Mr. Burns. Yeah, $1 million may have been a bit too much, but you needed more money than what they were getting. Marge weren't backing Homer in the episode. She was going against Homer and basically her son, basically.
Yeah.
When she went to the witness stand, it all come blurting out. And I can understand Homer's reaction, why he was distant toward Marge. I can understand that. Because, say, if you have a wife and she's not supporting you, if the person was right, it's like, Homer was right to do what he did, in my opinion. Because Mr. Burns did run over his son. And, you know, yeah, right, he went some parts of it the wrong way, but he was right to wanting a bit more money.
Yeah, maybe the only problem with that side is just the fact of they're asking for $1 million and then...
I know, $1 million's a bit too much.
And they're just maybe going a bit too far with trying to fake Bart's injuries, because again, another negative from it, just the fact, like you say, he's been hit by a car, but he's only got minor injuries.
Yeah, and he was playing sport the day before, was he, when he got the injury?
No, I think he said the day after.
Day after, sorry, I mean, he was playing sport, where you've been hit by a car.
And
you're going to be playing sport.
Would a doctor not advise him to either he needs to stay in hospital a bit longer or rest up or something like that?
Oh, hospital and rest up.
Yeah.
He'd be resting up for at least 2 weeks or so, a month even.
Yeah, but also hit on it towards the end of the episode. Another negative. Again, if you've seen any other reviews, you know how much we don't really take to Homer and Marge's marriage problems. I mean, that's one part of it, but the other part is just a case of it was such a short one, as I said, like 5 minutes, going from Homer falling out with Marge before, and then a reconciliation, like say within 5 minutes. It's as if they'd done the episode and then couldn't think of a way to finish it off, or they had to fill in those last couple of minutes.
Yeah, what I will say is what we missed before is I found out this is one of the most heavily edited episodes in syndication. The full opening sequence is replaced with the short opening from Season 5's Rosebud, and there are 17 cutscenes, one of which are over 9 seconds long.
To be fair, yeah, so you can sort of see it now from watching the episode. The fact it just cuts straight in, you don't even believe you get them panning through Springfield at all, because there was a couple of episodes in the first series where you won't get a full opening sequence. You just basically get the opening one where it pans through the town like they're going towards the school, but it heads straight to the house sort of thing.
Yeah.
But there wasn't even that in this one. It just went, as far as I remember, did it go straight into it?
Yeah, I think it did. Yeah.
So yeah, so that goes against the argument. It just meant that said of them running out of space. Obviously, they had to cut. Maybe that end sequence was supposed to be longer. But it did sort of come across as a bit too.
Yeah, it did.
Sudden.
Yeah, I agree on that.
Yeah,
just thought I'd mention that.
Yeah. Any negatives?
Negatives, like I said, Bart playing sports the day after he getting hit by a car's a negative in the episode. Any other negatives?
Can't think of any more off the top of my head.
Well, you could say that Lionel Hutz won in $1 million, and taking 50%.
Well, yeah, but again, that is obviously going to be his character going forward. But yeah, probably could be seen as a negative. Any others? Or should we just move on to positives?
Well, you could have a negative, like you did mention it before, when no one recognises Marge when she goes into the pub.
Yeah.
Rose Tavern. It's like, I'm sure, like we said before, I'm sure they've met her before in previous episodes, but then you don't reference it in this episode.
Yeah.
So that can be seen as a negative.
I mean, continuity, but yeah, slight negative is like we said, she has been around some of them previously.
And Bart's injury in this episode is a complete negative. Getting hit by a car, you wouldn't just have a bump on the head. you'd have a few more serious injuries after going in the air, hitting your head on concrete. You'd probably have brain damage or something. You'd be in a coma, I should imagine. But you don't,
Yeah. You maybe just say that the majority of the storyline's just one big negative sort of thing.
Yeah.
When you look at it for an episode arc, it sort of is a pretty I don't want to say bad episode, but when you look at some of the episodes that you've done previously, a whole episode focused on basically trying to lie and cheat your way through to get money from someone, even if the accident wasn't a fate accident, basically.
Yeah.
And want a stage one, so yeah. Positives.
Yeah, positives.
If there is any positives from the episode.
Well, some people may say Marge is a positive, but in my honest opinion, I wouldn't agree with that being a positive. But some people may think Marge is sticking up and saying the truth in the end is a positive. But in my opinion, I don't think I'd associate that.
Just people may not do, but just Mr. Burns as a whole, he's always a positive.
Yeah, he is.
Just his response, the fact he wants to pay Bart off, even if it is with a nickel.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously showing his age there. Wanting to fire Homer, thinking he'd be a hero for it. Just his, you gotta admire his guile in court, not just with the slip of the tongue that run over as many kids as he should do because he's rich, but just the fact of just trying to make out that he's this nice person, his own recreation of the episodes.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah. So yeah, Mr. Burns as a whole for me.
Smithers to me can come across as a positive because when Bart gets hit by a car, Mr. Burns, he wants to phone for an ambulance. He wants to help Bart. It's Mr. Burns who doesn't.
Yeah, well, Smithers is sort of the moral compass at the beginning of the episode. Beginning and when obviously Mr. Burns decides he wants to fire Homer. Yeah, but yeah, because Smithers doesn't really appear much in it. He's just like, he's only there for brief bits. The instant in the office with Mr. Burns, and I think at the mansion when Homer and Marge go around, but apart from that, he's not really in the episode anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, he still brings positives to the episode with him being in there.
Going back to negatives, you can probably say Mr. Dr. Hibbert is a negative because he weren't actually trying to pursue Bart to get the, try and claim.
Just to rest up.
So he had to rest up and claim that, like he did get hit by Mr. Burns.
Yeah.
It's like...
So where Dr. Nick can be shown as being an incompetent doctor and basically lying about the X-ray, the other side, Dr. Hibbert isn't fully not to blame with it as well, with the fact of wanting to send Bart home but not telling him to rest up or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. It just goes back to the fact I think this episode is more negative than positives anyway.
I'd say that.
As I say, a premise of the episode that they've done it with, it just lends itself to more negative. Just the whole premise. Apart from taking out the fact that it was, you could sort of say it was an accident by Mr. Burns. It was just.
Oh, it weren't intentional. It was accidental.
Just,
Bart was doing his rebel thing on his skateboard.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, just skating through town. So yeah, maybe he should have been looking where he was going.
This is the second time Mrs. Burns has done it. Did he do it to Milhouse in a later episode? When Milhouse is in the bed, he'd come back for me.
Oh yeah. Something's mentioned. I can't remember what episode it is, but he's like, he said something like, Mr. Burns said if I said anything, he'd come back and finish. Oh, that was. I think it was when he was trying to inspire an American football team.
That's
like,
right.
You just remember you're doing this for a poor crippled boy. I should know because I'm the one who crippled him.
Yeah.
And then you see Milhouse in the hospital bed. It's like, I hope they win. Mr. Burns said if they don't, he's coming back to finish the job off.
Yeah.
So it's
that was good, that.
So yeah, but as I say, Mr. Burns as a whole, he's just whether people agree, but he's one of my favourite characters.
He's one of mine. Moe's, I think, is my favourite, but then it's got to be Mr. Burns.
Yeah. But yeah, any other pros, cons for the episode?
I think that's covered all the bits on it.
Yeah, I don't think there's really much more to add to the episode.
No, there's not. If we've missed anything about the episode and there's pros and cons which you want to add, please comment down below.
Like, share, subscribe.
And we'll see you in the next video.